Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everybody to Lucas Tyndale Live. So glad to have you guys here. If you're watching this today by replay, we're so glad that you are here. If you're on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, or LinkedIn, we're just glad that you're here for this show. And we want you to stay tuned. Please, I say this every day, of course. Of course, I say you don't want to miss today's show. I'm never going to say, hey, just miss the show. It's no big deal. I don't want you to miss any show because every show is going to be impactful. There's going to be education, motivation, liberation that's going to help you in your life, going to help you in your business, going to help you in your relationship, going to help you free your mind from some things. So every episode is going to have something worthwhile. Again, I had someone say to me a great compliment, and I was so excited that someone told me today that they're going to spend this weekend binge watching my show. I said, wow, that's deep. You know, one, that I have enough episodes that somebody could binge watch the show is exciting. And the fact that they're going to spend their weekend binge watching my show is super exciting for me. So I'm so grateful to that person. I'm not going to embarrass them and call them out, but I'm so grateful for them. To everybody else who's joining, I just want to thank you guys who are here and who will be joining as we get started with the broadcast today. We have a very special guest, someone who just has a brilliant mind for business and a brilliant mind for people, and a brilliant mind really for the kingdom of God. She's really about helping people as entrepreneurs, but also recognizing what God can do. So it's going to be really exciting to hear from her today. You guys are not going to be disappointed. If you've been thinking about starting an online business, you're in the right place. If you've been trying to grow your online business, you're in the right place. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. When our guest gets up on stage or in the broadcast with me, you guys are not going to be disappointed. So please, please, please share this broadcast. Give us hearts, give us love, share something in the comments. Get this thing moving. Let those social media platforms know that this is something that everybody needs to see. When you give hearts, when you give love, when you give comments, when you share, it tells those platforms that this is something that everybody needs to see. So I thank you so much for doing that. Thank you to the Lucas Live Inner Circle. Thank you to everybody who's been a loyal fan. And thank you to anyone who's new today. So I just want to start today by sharing a little bit from my book. Somebody told me, they said, you don't share enough about your book. They said, now you wrote a nice book and it's life-changing. And this was a person who actually, they worked through my book by reading it and walking through it. And they actually found their husband. I love when ladies say, found my husband. She found him like he was in the bushes. She just found her husband. I love when women be finding him. You don't hear men be like, man, I found my wife. They be like, yeah, I met this girl. I'm into her, you know. I'm thinking about proposing, you know. But women be like, man, I found one. I found me a husband. He was just, you know, he was picking up the garbage. I don't know where he be at, but they be finding him some husbands. But hey, it's all good. But what my book is the Man Manual, 10 Steps to Better Understanding Your Man. And it's about helping you understand what it takes to get ready for marriage. Okay, what it takes to get ready. If you find your husband, what you're gonna do to keep your husband, right? It's giving ladies insight and tips into the male mind, and giving ladies insight and the courage and the wisdom to be all they can be, to have the relationships they want. So I just want to share a little excerpt out of the book here in my chapter. The first main chapter, basic instructions. One of the things it says is that God gave women the ability to give birth and intended for women to birth greatness. Ladies out there, I want you to know that you were intended to birth greatness, whether it's greatness in your children, greatness in your household, greatness in your husband, or greatness in yourself. God wants to birth greatness in you. Women have the innate ability to understand movement underneath the surface, which is a powerful, special thing. They can understand movement underneath the surface. And guys don't always do that. They don't always understand what's moving underneath the surface. And sometimes they struggle to see that or struggle to fully understand that. So I want women to understand that that's such a powerful, important thing that God gave you. And it's something that you don't want to take for granted. So I just want to shout out all the today because I have a very special lady who's going to be sharing some very important information with all of us today. So I don't want to delay this any longer. I'm going to bring in our special guest today, Miss Dr. Shamieka Dean. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, LL Cool Tyndale.
LL Cool Tyndale. Only you're the one who calls me LL Cool Tyndale. I appreciate that. I'm trying to make sure my audio is right. I want to make sure everybody can hear me okay. And everybody can hear Shamieka okay. I'm over here messing with my audio settings. I want this to be I want you guys to hear our guest today because she's got some fire to share with you guys today. So you guys get ready. Shamieka, how you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Good.
I just need to get out of the house a little bit because I tried my jeans on and they were hugging in places that they weren't hugging
We're
before.
hugging before the quarantine.
Yeah, before the
Okay.
quarantine. So I was just like, maybe I need to walk around the block, mask
Okay.
it up, with my girl Kareen's matching headset and mask.
Get your mask on.
Get my mask
Okay.
on.
I keep mine.
But I'm doing amazing. How about you?
I'm doing great. I love it. I'm doing great. Yeah, absolutely. It's hard. The gyms are closed. It's not the same. We got to get out and get active. Otherwise, them summer clothes ain't gonna be fitting quite right.
Mermaid thighs, everything, all of that.
So everybody has to be conscious. We did shout out to Javen Shaw at Javen Fit. We had him on last week. Go back, everybody watch the video with Javen Shaw. Follow him at Javen Fit. He will get you right for the summer and get you ready. All right. So everybody get ready by hollering at my man Javen. He'll take care of you for your summer. So Miss Dr. Shamieka Dean, I just want to share with the audience a little bit about how I know you. First of all, shout out to the Periscope family who's on the broadcast tonight. Remember the Periscope days. People don't know how many people, how we got warmed up back in the day on Periscope, which was before Facebook Live, right?
Yes.
Before there's before Facebook Live, before YouTube Live, before LinkedIn Live.
There was Periscope.
There was Periscope. And during the Periscope days, we were going live. Different people were going live. We were all supporting each other's communities, shouting each other out. And it was a lot of fun. And it gave us a chance to get comfortable with live platforms like this.
Absolutely.
So that's where I first saw Shamieka Dean. And then my wife was in a women's group and she was talking about Shamieka Dean. And I started following and started listening to all the information that you were sharing. And then one day I was laid off from my job in October of last year. And I don't know why, but God said, call Shamieka Dean. And I don't think I had your number. I'm pretty sure I didn't. I think I just reached out to you like, hey.
Via inbox.
Okay. Yep. I'm like, random dude. I'm a fan. My wife. Just wondered if we could talk for a minute. And you gave me some priceless insight that has helped me to get where I am today. So first, I just want to thank you for that.
You're not going to make me loosen my lashes, Mr. Lucas. But, you just, when you see what God shows you on someone, you just speak it and the manifestation is up to him, So I'm always grateful when people receive whatever God is giving me because you could have rejected it. So thank you for receiving the word that, that got released.
It was so powerful. It was so on time. And I'd love for you to start with us a little bit. Tell us a little bit about your background, your work experience, and how you got to be a full-time entrepreneur. I think a lot of people want to get some they want to get some education, they want to get some motivation, and they want to get some liberation around this topic. So if you could start from the bottom and let us know how you got here, that would be great. So help us understand this journey a little bit.
Well, I went in to work one day for what I thought was going to be my annual review. My manager at the time, she said, hey, Shamieka, we're going to do your review in the executive wing. So I was like, boom, we're about to blow up.
I'm out here now.
I was like, we're going to the executive wing. Like, this is going to be, good, because the position I was in at the time was a position that was offered to me in the executive wing. I didn't interview for the job. They literally called me in and offered me that management position. So, I knew spiritually, of course, God had shown me some things that it was my time to go. However, when the opportunities, the way things were going initially, I was just like, okay, that was the devil, because God, was really like trying to set me up for success. I'm going up the corporate ladder really quickly. And I remember it, like they always say, I remember like it was
just the day. Yes.
And I went in, I'm not a morning person, but that day I was just excited. Like, hey, I was speaking to everybody, the birds, the trees, everybody, right. Because I just knew like this is the day. So as we walked around the corner into the executive wing, there are two, like, there's like this glass, like open doors, and you can, they're open, but it was so different. When the moment I stepped into the executive wing, it was kind of like night and day. Like there was like this darkness that kind of just took over the atmosphere as soon as I stepped into the executive wing. So I tried to ignore it, went on in. I go in, they're talking, going over my review. And the HR director, she said, in order for you to stay in this position, you have to get at least a 3.0 on your annual review. And we have rated you a 2.98.
Hold up. Wait. Hold up.
The 2.98. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm sitting here like, okay, well, I can bring those 0.2 points up, like, Right. And so she said, normally we would allow you to go on a probation and, to bring your score up to determine if we're going to keep you in the position. She says, but we've decided that, we're going to terminate you effective immediately.
Wow. Like, wait, hold up.
Yeah. So I'm like,
0.02 points from being where I'm supposed to be. And
no write-ups, no trouble, highest performing manager in the history of the organization.
Wow.
Numbers through the roof. I excel very quickly in the position, all of this stuff. However, I knew this day was coming. I didn't know it was that day because God had already told me to quit, but 2 years prior, but I didn't. And right before I was actually terminated, everything started going crazy on my job. People started turning on me. It was just really odd. And it came literally out of nowhere. Wow. And I remember telling my husband, I was going home crying every day because it was just a toxic environment. And I remember telling him, I need to quit this job. And he said, you can't quit. He said, because you won't be able to get unemployment and we don't have any money saved up. You don't have, a backup plan. And he had just gotten out of the military. So that means both of us would have been unemployed had I quit. So I remember, again, praying and crying, and God specifically said, I'm going to give you a way out. And I was like, okay, so I never forget when I got to work that one day, he had me to pull a phone call. On the phone call, I heard the HR director and my manager plotting on how they were going to terminate me. Mind you, yes.
You literally heard
this? I heard the conversation. Yes, heard the conversation. And yet and still me being hopeful and thinking, this will all go over, When I went in, they fired me. And that God reminded me of the conversation. He reminded me of the promise. God is so good at that. He will remind you of the promise. Yes. Listen. So what should have been the most painful moment in my life, God reminded me of his promise in that moment. And when she said that they were going to terminate me for the 2.98, I literally sat there and I said, thank you. Wow. And she said, and she looked at me, she's just kind of like, what? I said, thank you. I said, I've been waiting on this moment. Because initially, like I said, time had passed on since I heard the conversation, the recording. So, I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe things have got better, and again, I'm being hopeful. No, they terminated me. I went in the office, got my little belongings, and that was it. I haven't worked for anyone else since.
What year was that?
That was in 2012.
2012. We're in 2020. You've been out here entrepreneurship in the entrepreneurship rowing that boat for 8 years. That's
for 8
serious.
Years.
That's not easy. And I can't thank you enough as I rewind back to talking to you that day. Things about myself. Okay, so for my audience and for people close to me, you may know this and others may not know. In my life, I'm 38 years old. You know, when you start to get older, you have to like remember. You be like, how old am I again? Wait, carry the one. All right, yeah. 38 and born in 82. Oh wait, I'll be 38. I don't know how old I am. Anyway, so I had 3 jobs in my entire life. Okay. And I worked for 20 years. Okay. So at 16, I started a job working with families and children, some of which I see my girl Cassandra Brooks is on the broadcast today. She was one of my kids. Now she's a grown lady and doing her own thing. And there's so many others who I had the chance to impact and work with kids in the community. And I loved it. I worked at a job for 16 years from a summertime assistant to administrator of a facility to executive director of 3 facilities. And suddenly, without warning, probably with the best, and I'm going to say this in case anybody out there is listening, I had to have the best employee file in the history of the company still. I mean, my scores from year after year, my reviews were amazing, so much so until at 23, I was administrator. I had 40 employees and 100 and something kids I was responsible for at 23. At 25, I was executive director. We had multiple facilities. I was over the administrators and over the building. With no warning, with never having no warning even in my file, I was fired. And it hurt so bad. I was fired from that job. That was when I was in the Periscope and getting, looking at being an entrepreneur. I ended up going back to work in 2016, April 2016, got a job at a consulting company. And then I eventually went on. Then I left that job. I was recruited to another job, great pay, great opportunity. And then that job laid me off suddenly. Again, no warning. That phone call, can you come up to the office? I'm working from home. Can you come up to the office? I'm like, the office an hour away. Why would I come to the office?
Wow.
But I knew God had been telling me something for a long time about what he wanted me to do. And I'm closer and closer every day because of the negative things that happened to me. God was working it out for my good.
Absolutely. That's how I'm telling you. I did a video that says God will make you so uncomfortable, it would catapult you into your destiny. And it's not that he does negative things to us or anything to harm us. But when we are out of alignment with his plan for our lives, the things that are set it up for us, that the enemy sets up for us over there, they happen. But God is so good. He says, listen, although that you didn't move when I told you to move, I'm still going to realign you and I'm going to accelerate you. And so, so even when those things happen, you have to say, okay, God, what are you positioning me for to prosper me in? Yes. And so that's how I view everything that happens in my life. I'm really big on perception. Because had I looked at that and said, oh my God, why did you do this to me? Instead of saying, okay, how are you positioning me to prosper me? Because apparently I was out of alignment and you needed to reroute me. Right. Wow. So it's all about perception. We can look at our perspective. We can look at it however we choose to, but however we look at it is going to produce either another problem or it's going to produce the promise. I choose promise for 500, Alex.
I'll take. Can I get promise on the double Jeopardy question, please? I'll take that for 1,000. I love it. That is so powerful. I want to shout out our audience here. There are so many comments. There are so many people who are watching us live right now on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Periscope. We want to thank you guys for being here with us. I'm here today with Dr. Shamieka Dean on Lucas Tyndale Live. I want to thank you guys again for all the positive feedback, all the comments, all the shares, all the posts, all the inbox, all the texts, all the email, all the love. It's been so exciting, and it's what pushes me on to continue to do this show. And when I know great people like Dr. Dean here today, it makes it even easier because I'm like, who can I call? What are we going to do? What can we talk about? Let me shout out some of the comments here.
Okay.
Tyler Thatcher, thank you so much for being here. Loyal fan. He's here every evening with us.
JJ
Lilly, same deal, here every evening with us. We want to thank you so much, JJ. I think you know this lady here.
Hey, Corinne.
Miss Corinne Marie Tyndale, my lovely wife, here, supporting the show as always. A good friend of mine, Andrea Houghton, says, hello, Dr. Shamieka. Hello. Rob Thompson, I don't know if you saw him. He said, loving the new equipment upgrade. Yeah, I got a little upgrade. You know, we just getting started out here, Bob. You know, we just get this just a little bit. We about to do some things around here. It's a whole show, right?
That's right.
And let me take a moment to shout out our sponsor. Shout out to our sponsor, HMA, Health Matching Account. I still want you guys, if you haven't yet gone to HMA.com, you have to go there. You have to find what this offer does for you. This is not a gimmick. It's not a scam. I'm not about that. If you know me, I'm not about throwing stuff at you that's no good for you. This is an account. It's a savings account. You're going to be putting your money into something secure. You're going to have your money available for you on a Visa debit card to use for medical expenses. But as you put money in, that money is going to be growing. If you're not using it, right, if you're not spending that money, which you could, but if you're not spending it on medical expenses, you'll be able to save it, and it will be growing in that account at a rate that you're not going to see in any savings account or any tricky, stock market deal. It's going to be doubled over a period of months. If you leave it in there for 35 months to be exact, $5,000 of your money is going to be $10,000 worth of money on this card available for you to spend. There's packages from $5,000 to 10,000, 20,000, depending on how much you want to put in each month. You can really build a healthy savings. You can add your children, you can add your family, you can do things to protect yourself from unforeseen medical expenses. And right now, with what's going on with the coronavirus, everything sounds like the government's going to take care of everybody and the insurance companies are going to be all understanding. I promise you, there are going to be people who get bills that are going to bankrupt them. There's somebody who got the coronavirus who is going to come home to a bill that they will not be able to pay. And some years from now, they'll be doing news stories on the bankruptcy from the coronavirus. I don't want us to be in that position. And there'll be another plague. There'll be another emergency. There'll be another something in the future. Health Matching Account can help you prepare for that. So please go to HMA and Road to Save. Inbox me, message me if you want more information about that. So happy to have Health Matching Account as our first official sponsor of Lucas Tyndale Live. So I have to shout them out. Thank them so much for everything they've done for us. So let's get back to some of the comments. Andrea, again, hello. Sexy Rob was in the house. I was saying that earlier. I don't know if you saw the live concert, but he's Sexy Rob, all right? I'm just saying. That's what he makes us call him. So whatever. It's all good. Sexy Rob. Our man Cedric is in the house.
What's up, Doc?
Mr. Cedric Nesbitt. So glad to have you here today. Everybody go check him out. Follow him. He's doing great things. Him and his wife. My man Lester Sanders was a guest on the show a few weeks ago. Got to have him back. He was amazing. So I'm excited about that. Angela Hardesty in the house. She's a loyal fan, a part of the Inner Circle here every night. Miss Tamika Stewart, so glad to have you. Really, really excited to always have you here with us. Cassandra Elise Brooks, welcome to the show. So glad to have you as well. I think I saw my girl, Janeri's in the house. Glad to have you here. Miss Phyllis, welcome to the show. Me and Miss Phyllis worked together some years ago. She knows my story. And when I was saying it, she said, that's true. She was saying, that's right. That's real. That's real. And shout out to Miss Andromeda Rahim.
That's my other sis from She Wins. She Wins Society. Yes.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know about the She Wins Society, go check out the She Wins Society, the Stepping into Sisterhood events. We're going to have an entire week dedicated to the She Wins Society on Lucas Tyndale Live. Awesome. We're going to have one person after the next. We're going to have night after night of heavy hitters bringing great information, sharing their merchandise, their books, their products. We're going to show love to them because they've shown so much love to my wife and what she's done. Tell them, hey, Shamieka, give them a little commercial. Tell them about the She Win. Tell them about the She Win Society.
I think I've been a member of She Wins for about 4 years now. It may be longer, Andromeda, so don't get me for that. But I've been a member. I'm one of the coaches on the She Wins Coaches Council. I connected with Andromeda because there was a quote that she posted and it just resonated, and she literally just spoke my heart as it pertains to sisterhood and women, and really, building that community of support without competition. It's amazing. I've been able to go on one of the trips with them. And it's like I said, everybody's just real. Everybody's laid back. There's no competition. There's no confusion. And when one of us puts something out, those She Wins sisters are like the whole beehive. Like they are coming. Okay. They are like the beehive. They are coming and they support without looking for anything in return. It's literally like, this is what we do. And so I love it. And that all starts with the heart of the founder, because I believe everything is built from the foundation. And Andromeda just has that heart. And that's how I connected with your wife, is through through that organization. When it was Women by Choice, initially, it was called Women by Choice. And that's how we connected. And I found you all on Periscope, and and everything else has just been like one puzzle piece that all came together. So if you're looking for a sisterhood of community, a community of support without competition, She Wins is the society for you.
Check it out. Check it out. We got a lot of people. We got a lot of people on here showing some love. Shamieka, I do want to ask, people are saying there's a little feedback. So I think your microphone may be rubbing up against your shirt.
It may be.
Know where the mic is.
Yeah, it's on my shirt.
Oh, okay. All right. So, I don't know if you want to just hold it or get your paper
I'll
clip
just hold it like this.
Whatever.
I got it. I'll hold it like this.
Yeah, people are texting me like, is that your beard? You got your new mic? Is your new mic messing up? Hey, I hear y'all. Ebony, Andrea, my wife. People are, we got quality control. We got people who always
good. It was probably, because this thing, it moves a lot. And I normally have the mic that pins, but I couldn't find that one. So I had to steal my husband's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. His headphones. So it's okay. I got it. I'll hold it.
We're better now. It's all good. It's all good.
Okay.
So people are excited about She Wins Society. Please, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you guys are checking that out. SheWinsSociety.com. Make sure you guys check that out. We're going to show them some love. We're going to have a whole week dedicated to those powerful ladies. So please join. Please join if you're not a member already. Ladies, gentlemen, I don't think they let us in, but whatever. It's discrimination. We'll file our lawsuits together. Class action another day. Don't worry about it. It's all good. So, Shamieka, I want to get into a little more about what you do, and we may jump back into your story a little bit, but I want our viewers to learn something. Education, motivation, liberation is really what it's all about. So when it comes to being an entrepreneur, and there's a lot of people who are either full-time entrepreneurs or have aspirations to be part or full-time entrepreneurs, what do you tell somebody who's like, I want to do something, I want to start something, I'm thinking about starting an online business? Where do they start? What do they do?
They use what's in their hands. Excuse me. I tell everyone, and I actually just did a YouTube live on last night, and it was titled, "You Have Everything You Need to Start Now." We are so good at creating excuses for what God has already equipped us to execute.
Wow.
And so if God tells us to start something, that means that He's already equipped us with everything that we need to start. However, in our obedience, He'll give us what we need to finish. And so a lot of times the reason why we aren't moving forward, or we feel like we don't know what to do next, is really not that we don't know what to do. It's that we refuse to do what we can do.
Hold on now. Don't be telling off my audience. We try to be nice. All right, no, we don't. Tell them the truth.
Yeah. We just really don't want to do what we can do. And we use the excuses to extinguish what God has equipped us to execute. So I say that with myself, use what's in your hands. There is something that you have in your hands. There's something that you can do right now. So ask God, what is the first step that I need to take now? And I used this example last night about writing a book. I say, God said, write the book. And what you do is you say, well, God, I need to get an editor. I need to get a book cover done. I need to figure out a marketing strategy. God, I need to figure out who I'm going to get to publish. No, God said, write the book. You can write the book. How can you write the book? You have a computer. You can write in your notes. You have, a phone. You can write in your notes. You can write the book. So God is really saying, can I trust you with little before I make you ruler over many? That's what He's saying. So if He says, start the business, the first thing you need to do is go and apply for your EIN number. It's free.
Online,
okay?
it's easy.
Online, it's free. It's so easy. It's so simple, right? And so, but what we do is we look at the whole picture instead of building with the pieces of the puzzle that we already have in our hands. So use what you have in your hands. There is something that you have that you can get started right now with what God has told you to do. So ask him, what do I already have in my hands that I can use now to start what you told me to do? And he will send you the next instruction once you implement the first set of instructions.
All right, stop. All right.
Okay.
We can only take a little bit at a time. All right. A little bit of truth at a time. Let us breathe. Live audience, everybody take a deep breath.
Bring
if
it
that
back.
meant something to you, say something in the comments.
Let
us know. We're going to take some deep breaths. People are already shouting it out. They're saying truth. Janaya is saying truth. Corinne is saying, yep. She said, just start writing. My wife has written several books. She said, just start writing. Tamika said, I needed to hear that.
Good. Yes.
Setting somebody free. That's what we're talking about.
You just got to start. Just do it like Nike.
Just do it. Oh, it's Nike things. Angelina said, that's facts. That's facts here. Alex said, fire.
Hey, Alex. That's one of my accountability formation brothers.
Awesome.
Right there.
Awesome. Sabrina, welcome to the show. She's going to be on the show. She works for an amazing organization, the Cultural Intelligence Center, out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. They travel all over the world teaching people cultural intelligence about how to be sensitive in interacting with people of different cultures, how to do business with people of different cultures, how to just get along with people of different cultures and having a respect and an understanding of different cultures. Shout out to Sabrina. She's going to be on the show as well.
Awesome.
Thank you for being here. Steve Beatty said, heavy.
Hey, Steve.
Just got to get started. You can shout at him. Y'all, you go ahead and shout
at
him.
Steve.
Tamika, shout at him. Go ahead. Tell him what's up.
Listen, I stalk his LinkedIn. I don't even comment on there anymore. I mean, post, but I be on his page like, oh, that is so neat. Oh, my God, that's creative. How does he do that?
Right.
He is so amazing. Oh, my God.
Awesome. Paul Humphrey said, Lucas, what are you doing? What you're doing is great. Best part of entrepreneurship is the story. I did it for 6 years. It's a grind. You and your guests are letting others know that they can do it as well. Respect, absolutely. Paul. We'll have to have you on here to tell your story. I didn't even know that about you, my friend. I look forward to hearing more. Please inbox me so we can get together. And Sabrina said, I do consulting for them now, and I'm focusing on my own consultancy full time. Congratulations. All right. So thanks for the shout out when I'm on this show. I'll talk about both. That's awesome. Thank you so much. So to our audience, we really want to thank you guys, and we really appreciate your comments. Okay, now you told us off already. All right, now okay, I'll be nice. You cut us open. Now put us back together and then cut us open again. But all right, so start with what you have. God said, write the book. Stop thinking about the stuff you don't have and focus on what you do have. Continue. Tell us, what else do we do? Absolutely. You literally, you just have to start with what you have. And then God is also going to send help. One thing that I learned on my journey is that when God gives you a vision, if you say you have a vision from God, right? And it doesn't require him or help, it didn't come from him. I'll tell anybody that. Why do I say that? Because everything God gives you to do is bigger than you because it's bigger than you. Okay. Yes. So when he gives you something, that means that it's going to require him first, and then it's going to require help from other people. Yes. And so some of us are so closed off that we have the Superman or the Superwoman mentality, that I don't need anyone, and it's shutting the door to the help. And because of that, it's hindering us from really being able to produce what God has predestined us to produce. And so, but your help is not going to come until you start moving. So I learned this from my husband. Shout out to not doctor, but to my husband, Parnell Dean. You speaking into the future, Dr. Parnell Dean. Amen. Yes. He told me one time as I was having a pity party crying, I don't have any help. Don't nobody want to help me. He said, baby, don't nobody get on a train if it's not moving. I was like, oh, so you mean I need to do the work first? Right. Right. Yes. So that was that was like eye-opening for me, because it let me know that when God is giving you something to do, people don't grab hold of the vision until you start implementing
the vision. And so again, use what's in your hands. I promise you, there is something that you can do right now. And God will send the help as you help yourself. That's not a scripture. It's not scripture. You know, God doesn't help those, you know, whatever that looks.
Help themselves, right?
Yeah, that's not scripture. It's not, right? But the reality is, people need to know that they can trust that you're not going to quit. So are you going to commit to completion? And when you show up and you refuse to quit, people will jump on board because they know that they can count on you to keep going. But it always starts with you, you know, and what you're willing to do. So commit to completion, and God will send people to help you complete the assignment.
All right. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go again. We got to get moving. We have to be a moving train. People want to be on a winning team. People want to be on a moving train. Right? They're not going to see you sitting still complaining about what you don't have and say, oh, it's like somebody saying, remind me to call you. Well,
yeah. Wait, what?
What? Like, I'm not important enough for you to remember, so I'm supposed to remember that you're supposed to remember. I got to remember what I'm trying to remember. What are you talking about?
Right. Exactly.
So it's like we say, well, so-and-so was successful because they had so many people behind them.
No.
You don't know that lonely journey that they started with, right?
It is lonely. You know, especially when you're getting started, because you begin to feel frustrated and overwhelmed because you're like, well, I don't know what I'm doing, but you know what you know.
Yes.
So do what you know, right? Because you know something. So do what you know. And that eliminates the excuses. And when people see that, they're like, man, this girl is grinding. So I have people that have been following me for 3 or 4 years before they came to me to work with me.
Right.
So, but what I was always told was, I've been watching you.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? I've been watching you. I've seen your results. I've seen you start from the bottom and now you're here. Right. So they see it and now they're like, okay. And a lot of times people just want to see your success so that they will know if this is something that I want in my life.
Right.
You know, if you're struggling and talking about your struggle all the time, I'm all about transparency, but there's a difference between transparency and translucency, right? There's a difference. Okay. So I'm all about transparency, sharing some of the struggles, but I can't turn into a soap opera about my problems and want people to come and join me in my misery.
Yes.
Right.
They got enough problems of their own.
Right. So they want to see, they want to know that you're real. They want to know that you have struggled in an area. But if your timeline is so, it is just congested with complaining, who wants to join that? No one. Nobody wants to join that.
Powerful. I have a question from one of our audience members I want to jump to, but I love that. There's a level of transparency that people appreciate, right? They want to, and this is education, this is motivation, this is liberation, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody's going to be set free. They appreciate some level of transparency, but if every post on social media is woe is me and my life sucks and nobody supports me and my boss hates me and my kids don't listen and then you're like, but come join me doing this. They like,
right. Come on. It's an oxymoron, right?
Yes.
It really is. And then listen, your posts, I'm going to say this and then I'm going to let you get to this question. But for a lot of people, your posts are the reason you're not getting paid. Y'all know I'm going to drop alliterations all day. That's my brand. That's what I do. But your posts are the reason you're not getting paid. Because 1 minute you are promoting a business and the next minute you're arguing with a client, or the next minute you're posting about what you and your husband, you know, are going through, the battles that, you know, you're having that should be kept private anyways. And so, you know, but it's literally like, you have to position yourself for where you're going, not where you are. Like, you have to position yourself for where you're going. And it's not about being fake. It's really about using wisdom, you know, and making sure when you get ready to post, you have to ask yourself, is this going to help or halt my business? You got to think about that. Because I look at a lot of pages and I see people who have amazing product services, people that I would love to bring them in to work with me on my team. But I'm seeing what you're posting and I'm just like, I can't even do it.
Ooh, all right. Now listen, that was
I'm done.
That was
done.
bonus. That was not, we weren't supposed to do that now. So
Okay, I'm
ladies
sorry.
and gentlemen, I got to tell you guys, all right, this show is scheduled for an hour. We try to go 7 to 8, and I apologize. We've run over, but I don't apologize because at 8 o'clock or at any time, if you have to jump off, you are more than welcome. We still love you. You're still family here. And I hope you'll go watch the replay and watch what you missed, and hope you'll subscribe on YouTube and do all the things that we ask you to do to be a part of this family. But I got a feeling we're going to go a little bit longer today. I just got a feeling we ain't even touching. I mean, I can't get to questions or anything.
Go ahead. I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to be quiet.
No, don't stop. I don't think they want you to stop. I don't want you to stop. That is such good information. I think everybody really can benefit from hearing that. You got to be careful. You are a brand. Okay.
You are.
And I'm not as into Jay-Z as I once was, but back in my day, you know, I listened to a little Jay-Z, and nothing against the people who do. All love to you. He's the most talented, maybe the most talented rapper ever, in my opinion. But he said, and many people know the line, he said, "I'm not a businessman, I'm a business man." He was saying,
that's right.
I am the business.
I am. Mm-hmm.
I'm the brand.
Yeah.
Everything I say and do. Nike doesn't accidentally make comments. Pepsi doesn't accidentally make. Apple doesn't accidentally. They are strategic. Every tweet, every post, every move.
Strategic.
You think Nike working with Colin Kaepernick wasn't strategic? Now, people can argue whether they care about social justice or not. I don't know. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. But the bottom line is I respect the game because I can see they're in the business of branding. Are you branding yourself, or are you just trying to impress your family and friends? Are you trying to sell a product or service, or are you just trying to show your drama and show that you're the baddest and the toughest or the sexiest? Some people, and this is men and women, some people, are you in the business of selling some product where your sexuality and your sexiness is necessary? I don't know. But I see some people who are trying to sell a professional brand with all these sexy pictures. I'm like, people don't know what are you trying to get a date or trying to get $1? What you trying to do? To hit them with
a date or $1?
Date or $1. What you trying to get out here? Come on now. All right, let me get to this question. Sabrina asked, she asked a couple good questions. She said, you know, she's starting her new consulting business now. She said, Dr. Dean, what is the step that you would recommend to a new business that wants online exposure? What's maybe one or two things that they could do to improve their online exposure?
So online exposure, the quickest way to expand your brand is with leveraging live video. I would tell anybody, hands down, the quickest way to expand your brand is by leveraging live video. Show up, show the people who you are, show them what you do, show them why they need to work and connect with you, because that's literally one of the highest converting forms of marketing to date. And so if you're not using live video, you need to start implementing it now. Using a live video strategy, that's how I grew my YouTube following from 0 to over 30,000 subscribers in 6 months without paying for ads or affiliates, because I knew how to master live video. And so you need a strategy. Of course, there is a strategy to live video. But that is the first thing that I recommend for anyone that's trying to bring exposure to their brand and you want to do it at an accelerated pace. That's the way that I would recommend that you do it.
And Dr. Dean, you do offer some assistance with that? Is
Absolutely.
That
correct?
Okay.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about that, about what you can do to help people with the video portion of branding, the live and otherwise.
Okay. So with live video, I do offer like a live video strategy, a leveraging live video strategy is a part of my strategic solution package. And I also have prepaid courses where if you simply want to use YouTube, because that's the platform I highly recommend for live video. And I have my reasons, I'm biased, but YouTube page.
Shout out to our YouTube channel.
Shout out to YouTube.
Shout out to our YouTube fans. We always appreciate you.
YouTube pays you can get paid up to 5 ways passively on YouTube. And so that's why I recommend it, because you're getting paid for your content versus other platforms. You have to pay them to promote your content. And YouTube does the exact opposite, which I thought was genius. Yeah. So, but I definitely do. I can work with you, with a strategic solution session to give you some customized and individualized strategy on how you can begin leveraging live video for your business, because it is going to be unique, to you, your brand, and kind of what you're putting out there.
I love that. You guys can check her out at shamiekadean.com. Take a screenshot right now so you guys don't miss that. Write it down, take a picture, do something so you don't forget. shamiekadean.com. You want to SHAMIEKA Dean.com. You don't want to mess that up. You want to make sure you get a hold of her. You want to get the help you need. And me and Shamieka, we're going to talk in a minute about investing, because Shamieka and I have talked about this many times. We talked about this earlier today about the importance of that, because a lot of people want a lot of stuff or say they want a lot of stuff, but they don't want to invest in a lot of stuff. And then they're like, I don't know, I don't got a lot of stuff. It's like, you ain't paid for a lot of stuff. And that's why you got a lot of stuff. So I want to go. I think she had one more follow-up question. I think I saw from Sabrina, but maybe I lost it. There's so many comments and so much going on. She did say great tips and info. This is great. So she's really appreciative of that. Somebody, Danica, she's actually going to be our guest tomorrow. She's going to be doing a live cooking show. She's going to be showing us how to make homemade ice cream tomorrow. Can't wait for that.
Awesome.
Danica. She said, not that tech savvy, but I will learn. So to someone who says, well, you're talking about going live, you're talking about all this stuff. She's a chef. She cooks. She could be in the kitchen going live all the time, right? She cooks every day, I'm sure. But she says she's not tech savvy. Help her out.
And that's the thing that I love about live video, because it is where you can show up in the rawest form of yourself and still be relatable to your audience. So you don't need any experience, in live. You just need to really know how to click live, say go live. Like it's like just as simple.
Brave enough to click go live.
You do have to be brave, right? But I love it because it literally builds that connection with your audience quicker than anything else. And one thing that I teach as it pertains to sales and, profit, is that if you do not know how to develop a relationship, you will not increase your revenue.
Ooh. Was that another one? Relationship and revenue?
Revenue, yes.
Relationship and revenue go hand in hand.
They go hand in hand.
Network determines your net
worth,
right? So people who are one, fussing and fighting with everybody who they meet and who they come along with, they don't have not one reference. They're like, can I call your job? They're like, no. Can I call that other job? No. I fell out with people everywhere. Like, you're not positioning yourself to prosper. And Shamieka, you said this in another way, but one of the things that God has told me over the years is stop praying for the miraculous when you're unwilling to do the practical.
That's good.
There's practical things that you can do today. You're praying for a miracle. It's a miracle you're alive. It's a miracle you live in the 21st century. It's a miracle we can go live and skip the networks. And there's not 3 networks, 3, 5, and 8, right? It wasn't that long ago that if you wanted to be on TV or broadcast around the world, you had to be something special to get on when there's only 3 channels.
That's right. Now
there's a million YouTube channels. There's a million Facebook channels. We just got to get out of our own way and go live with what we have. Now, Dr. Dean, I would like for you to talk to the audience a little bit. I think we need a little bit of motivation around investment. There's some costs to work with you. You provide an awesome service. It's not gonna be $1.95 for your amazing services. There's gonna be some cost to it. There's gonna be some cost to working with anyone that's worthwhile. What do you say to the person who wants to say they can't afford any of these things?
Well, investment is about an internal belief system. And what I mean by that is when you choose to or not to invest in yourself, you are saying internally, I don't believe I'm worth the investment, or I don't believe that I'm going to get a return on the investment. See, the thing about investment, again, is it's based on your internal belief system. Do you believe that you're worth it? And are you willing to commit to completion? Which means, are you willing to do what's necessary so that you can get a return on the investment? And now, don't get me wrong. There are times when people are financially strapped. I get it. I've been there, done that, because I lost my job. My husband was out of work as well. So I understand when you're financially strapped, but here's the thing. There's only one difference between a person who can and who cannot, and it is what they believe. Because if you look at your bank account and you say, I just can't do this, versus looking at that bank account and saying, what can I do so that I can afford this? Two different mindsets. And so I learned that about the difference between a rich man and a poor man from Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yes, love it. Got that book around here somewhere. I almost grabbed it. Yep.
And that's one statement that he made in that book changed my mind about everything in my life. And it taught me the power of perspective. Right. And so when you simply say, I can't, you're giving yourself permission not to.
Yes.
But when you say, what can I do to afford it? You're giving yourself permission to succeed. You're going to find a way to do it. And so again, it's about your internal belief system, because when you invest in something, you're not paying that person. You're making an investment in yourself. That's point blank. You're making an investment in yourself. And so I'll just share this quick testimony about myself and how God dealt with me about it. There was this one person I was following, man. She was amazing. I'm loving her content. I have been praying, asking God for the next step, what I needed to do. And she was giving away all this free content. I'm soaking it up, right? And I'm writing everything she's telling me to do. I'm putting it down. And the moment she sent an email for me to invest in myself, I immediately said, I'm not paying that much. It's not worth it. Immediately. Now, and when I tell you he chin checked me, he said, no, all in my business. I'm talking about straight just blow, like TKO'd me, right?
Right.
And so he said, it's not that it's not worth it. You don't believe you're worth it.
Wow.
And I had to sit in that thing.
Not that she's not worth it, he's not worth it, that business is not worth it, that service is not worth it. You don't think, somewhere inside, you don't think
it's an internal belief system. You don't believe that you're worth the investment. And here's how I know that to be true, because we will go, and I'm not jumping on my women, y'all, so don't come for me. Okay. But we'll go and spend $80 on a pair of shoes that we can barely walk in because we feel like that shoe is worth it. But someone can come and say it's going to be $47 for you to learn email marketing and put your money on auto pay. And you say, I'm not paying $47 for that. It's not worth it. So the reality is, it's not that it's not worth it. You just don't believe you're worth the investment because you're not willing to do the work to get the return on the investment. Wow. Right. And so he told me that. And I said, well, God, it's this amount of money, though. He said, but everything that she's been giving you up until this point, you thought it was worth it. Yes. You've been applying it for it. You've been eating up when it was free because it didn't cost me anything. Yes. I'm about to help somebody.
Go ahead. Yes.
Because it didn't cost me anything. See, investment in you costs something. Not the financial aspect, but it costs you to commit. It costs you to face your flaws. It costs you to face your fears. It literally will reveal the reality of what you say you're ready for.
Woo. People are, I love it. I love it. People are all good when it's free.
When it's free.
It's free because sadly, what you're saying is that's not what they think the person is worth. That's what they think they're worth.
That's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you because and then I'm telling you, there are several excuses that people give for not investing, right? So one of them is the cost. They'll say it's not worth it. Another person will say, well, how do I know it's going to work for me? This may be a scam. I don't even know if this is going to work.
Right.
Wait a minute. But you see the results in her life or his life. You see the results in other people's lives. So it is simply not that you believe it's a scam. It's not that you don't think it won't work. You simply don't know if it's going to work for you because you cannot commit to doing the work.
They're going to give you the steps. They're going to show you the blueprint. The question is, are you going to build the house?
That's it. Are you going to build the house?
Yes.
Because investment in, you get the strategy. It's not their responsibility to yield the results. But we will put it in their hands, but it's not their responsibility to yield the results. It's our responsibility. And so what we really are saying when we don't want to invest, when we can invest, is I don't want that responsibility.
This is all because when it's just theory, it's all good.
Theory, yeah.
Right. It's like reading a book. It's like reading the Bible. People love to go to church and shout about what God's going to do for me for free. Right. But when they start saying
it's going to cost you something, though,
people are like, whoa, wait a minute. That ain't the Bible. That's the preacher trying to get some more money. Or that's that's some scam. That's some setup. Why would a loving God need me to do A, B, or C? Because he's testing you. Does God need your money? No, he don't need your money. But he wants to test your heart and see if you're willing to invest. Likewise, in situations like this, when you're unwilling to invest in yourself and you wonder why you are getting 100% return on your investment when you invest nothing. Because 0 times anything is 0. So you get your return, but you're not planting seeds and wondering why you don't have a harvest. You're a foolish farmer if you're looking for a harvest and you haven't planted any seeds. Help them out. Help them out. What should they do?
We will literally say, God, I want to be a New York Times bestselling author.
Yes.
Right? Yep. And he's like, well, you're going to have to write the book first. And you're like, well, I ain't got time to write the book because I got 5 kids and, you know, and I work 40 hours a week and I got to do this and do that. He's like,
you know my heart though, God. You know my
heart. Okay. Or you say, God, I want $1 million. I'm ready to be a multimillionaire. I'm ready to make millions. He's like, okay, well, you're going to have to invest 5,000 in this program. Well, now, God, I mean, I shouldn't have to pay that much.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Because we do not see the value of the return.
Right.
We don't see the value of the return. Yes. And so we will literally allow fear, because at the end of the day, it all boils down to fear.
Fear, yes.
Right. So we will allow fear to make us forfeit the future so that we can stay right here in familiarity. I ain't about that familiarity life. Future me, please.
I'm about to shoot myself off the screen. I'm about to just leave the show up to you. Listen, my wife said, I see my wife over here in the comments. She said, are y'all following sis? She's talking, are y'all following Shamieka Dean? She's talking about, are y'all following her? Like, go to her pages, go subscribe to her YouTube channel, go get this stuff. And my wife said, because she drops this kind of knowledge all the time. She drops these knowledge bombs every day. Every day she drops this kind of stuff. She might just pop up live on you and you didn't even expect it, and boom, here she goes. She might throw a little comment, something comes to her mind, throw it in there. You just don't know. When you're following her, that's my wife, and I love her so much because she has helped us so much get to where we are just through her words of inspiration. She didn't always know. When I reached out to you that day, something told me to contact you. Well, I know what that something was. That was the Holy Spirit. Why was the Holy Spirit saying that to me? Because I was seeking knowledge and wisdom. Where was I going to seek knowledge and wisdom? A well that I had gotten knowledge and wisdom from before. Wow. I heard you speak before. So I just started watching your live broadcast as much as I could because I was thirsty. And I was like, I need something. And then every time you were literally come on live and you didn't know it, but you could have been like, Lucas, this is for you. This is exactly what you need to hear. I know you're going through it right now, but you said everything I needed to hear. I reached out to you, helped me so much. And it's just been such a blessing. I'm so excited to bring this to our audience today. Let me give another shout out to the Lucas Live audience. Brittany Fox on here. One of my favorite people, Brittany Fox, she said, so good. She said, it's so good on here, what we're talking about tonight. Courtney's become a loyal fan. We thank you so much, Courtney. Courtney said, Corinne Tyndale, I wasn't, but I will now. She's going to follow you. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you guys, please, please, please. I can't say it enough. I cannot say it enough. Thank you, Jackie Scott. She said she's sharing this session all over the place. She's running around trying to get people to tune in to this broadcast right now. She's like, y'all need to hear this. If you're watching this and you're enjoying this and you haven't hit that share button yet, I don't care if you're on Periscope, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. If you haven't hit share so that people can watch this, because as soon as you hit share, this broadcast takes up your timeline. It becomes what's on your page, and people can come tap in and join the discussion and get this great information. If there's anybody out there that you care about, share this broadcast, tag names in the broadcast, get people in on this. And if they missed part of it, send them the YouTube link, send them the link so that they can go back and watch this entire session. This is free right here. I mean, this is valuable information right here that is being given away for free. Shamieka, this is just so powerful. So as we continue on, now, a lot of people throughout time have wanted to make 6 figures. 6 figures is something that is kind of an American ideal. It's like, wow, success. If I get to, it's a measure. It's not a lot of measures, but right. They don't really want the white picket fence so much, you know.
Right.
They want 6-figure income. They want to make $100,000 plus in income. And somehow you're telling people that working from anywhere, being entrepreneurs, starting online businesses, that it's possible without working for some big corporation to have 6-figure incomes. Help us understand. Is it true?
It's true. I done it.
Done it.
and done it.
I done it. And
help, my clients. I've helped some of my clients achieve the same goal. One of the things that I tell people when they struggle with, well, what do I sell? I don't have anything to sell. If you have a story to tell, you have a product to sell.
Woo. Say that one more time. Wait, what?
If you have a story to tell, you have a product to sell.
Woo. Tell them about it. So they got.
That's how I got started.
Got a story.
Everybody has a story.
Tell us about how you started and what you've helped others do.
So after I was fired, I shared that earlier. And I was looking for another job initially. I was looking for another job, applied for so many. No one called me. With the experience I had, I should have had so many offers, but I didn't.
Yes.
So I had a friend of mine at the time, and she said, there's this apostle. She didn't know, about the job thing, but she just said, hey, there's this apostle in town from Chicago. He does a Bible study on Wednesdays, and I think you should come listen to him. And so I said, okay, sure. Went. And the apostle got in. He came in. He was getting ready to start teaching, and he kept staring at me. And, I was like 75% saved in. So he kept staring at me, and he was looking at me, and I'm looking at him like, what? Like I'm just giving him all kind of side eyes. And so he said, I'm trying to move forward. He said, but God won't allow me to because he has a word for you. And so he said, you keep applying for jobs, but God said that you're going to start your own business. You won't ever work for anyone else again. Now I'm looking at him, and I didn't have any business skills, nothing to sell, didn't think about starting a business. So in my mind, I was like, yep, he's a false prophet.
Yes. Okay. Now wait, hold on, Shamieka. This is one of the most powerful things you ever said to me. When you told me that, because when I was going through this, I was thinking I had already written a book. I had all these skills that I could sell, services, relationship coaching, business coaching. I mean, I had run a business. I understood so much. I knew I had services and stuff to sell when I lost my job. You say again, when you lost your job and now you're seeing this man of God coming to you saying you're never going to work again. You said you had no what?
No business skills, no product, no nothing. I had absolutely nothing. And I had
somebody free right now.
And
somebody
I had no money in the bank either. I didn't have any money in the bank. So when he said it, that's why to me it was unbelievable. But one thing about prophecy is it's foretelling and forthtelling, right? And so sometimes, although it may not be comfortable for you, it doesn't always have to confirm what you believe, because his thoughts are not our thoughts and his ways are not our ways.
Yes.
So although it may not be something that is familiar, it doesn't mean that it's false. Come on, Shamieka, you
go ahead, girl. Come on, somebody put some bombs in the comments. She's dropping bombs right now. Right?
No, but seriously, just because it's not familiar doesn't mean it's false. And that was a lesson that I learned, with that situation. And again, because I didn't have any business skills, I didn't even have a desire to start a business. But I couldn't shake it. I couldn't shake it. And so I prayed and I said, God, what is this? Why did he say that? And if it's you, then you're going to have to speak to me to let me know that this was from you. And so he told me, I said, God, I don't have anything to sell. I don't know where to start. He said, but you have a story to tell. And so as I was saying earlier, listen, I started with what he told me to do. I told my story, and my story turned into a 6-figure salary.
People are thinking, I don't know if my story's that good.
We all say that
stuff, but don't nobody want to hear about my baby daddy who didn't pay for the daycare at one time. Nobody want to hear about how I got laid off my job. Nobody want to hear about my injury when I was playing.
Somebody does, somebody does. There are people still stuck, stagnant, and struggling because you won't tell your story.
They're stuck,
stagnant, and struggling because
of you.
Yes, because you won't tell your story. And that's literally how my business was birthed. And I have built more and more and more programs, products, and services simply from my story. Not the same story, but different parts of my story.
Yes.
But it all started with telling my story.
All right, now I'm gonna listen, Lucas Live audience. I tell y'all, I try to bring y'all valuable insight. Okay, I'm stealing the game for free, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just asking the questions and giving y'all what you want to know. All right, now this is stuff people are paying top dollar for. And if you want to get more precise and get closer and learn a little bit deeper, you got to get with Shamieka Dean. You got to go to shamiekadean.com. You got to check out her products and services. You got to see what's going on. Now, I want to continue this conversation, but we're just a little bit past 8 o'clock. And just in case somebody's going to leave, I want them to hear some of the things you're working on right now. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when she says this, we're not ending this conversation. I don't know about you, but this is too good. If I was hearing this and if I was at a conference, I'd be like, I am not going to the bathroom. I ain't moving. I'm getting every bit of this. And if it was free, I'm really stuck in my seat. So just share a little bit about what you have coming along right now, some things that you would recommend people check you out for.
Well, listen, I'm so excited because I've been baking this baby for over a year.
All right.
I am officially launching Next Level Business Academy, which is the 6-figure solution for online business owners and course creators, helping them to hang up the hustle in their business by creating consistent income so that they don't have to work, hustle 24 without hustling 24/7. So I am officially launching it, but I just opened up my founders members fee. So it's the Founders Forever fee, where those who join before I close the doors, which is going to be by Friday, because I've already extended it once. But that want to get in on that, it's going to be a membership. It's a continual learning process or program where I'm bringing in industry leaders every month to teach you the latest and greatest marketing strategies and techniques from different industries, so that it doesn't really matter what industry you're in. I'm bringing in people from various industries to keep feeding you. We have a cultivation community where you'll be in a community with your peers so that you can grow and glean and grow together.
Yes.
We have the laser learning lessons where you can get in the hot seat and you will be able to get strategic, customized strategy for your business only. And then I have my own, the monthly live training, again, where either myself or one of the industry leaders will be coming in to teach you. It is a membership-based academy, and we will have 3 tiers, but you will only be able to graduate to the next tier after completing the first tier. So my goal for the academy is to get you to making money first before you can even get to the next tier. Because if you're not making money here, you're not going to make money there. So it's an amazing academy that I'm working on. I'm super excited. I haven't even launched it to the public yet officially, and I'm already about 50 people in. For my founders members fee. So I'm so amazed because, like I said, I've been sitting on this baby for about a year now. And God just specifically said, listen, you have everything you need to get started. Now is the time. And I kick perfection out of the way. It's not even on my website yet. People have just been inboxing me and they've been getting enrolled. So it's awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, you guys have to check this out. Now, she's going to drop a little more free knowledge on us before we go, but you got to get in on this. Go to shamiekadean.com. Make sure you're following her on social media. Inbox her if you have questions, but please inbox her and say, how can I work with you? What does it cost? How can I get to it? Now, don't inbox her 15 free questions and say, give me my business strategy for free through the DMs. Don't be sliding into the DMs to get your free business strategy, but go in there and say, hey, I want to invest in me. Not, Shamieka, I want to invest in you. Shamieka, what you're going to give is an investment in me, and I just have to funnel my money through you to get that investment back in me.
That's right.
What's it going to take to get these things done? Talk to her about it. She has some DIY, some things that have already existed, some trainings that exist that you can purchase and go through some YouTube training, some other things she already has. And then she has this new academy. It's a membership base. People are paying an arm, a leg, and 2 of their kids to go to college, okay, and try to get information that many people don't actually use in their day-to-day lives. And I went to school for organizational management and marketing. I thank God I have some useful skills. Marketing is very useful. Organizational management is very useful. But so many people are willing to spend tens of thousands of dollars, $100,000 plus for an education at a university, but they won't come to someone like you and pay far less to get far more. So
Absolutely.
I encourage everybody, check her out at shamiekadean.com. Make sure you guys are following her. Make sure you guys start to make some decisions. And to everybody out there who got a stimulus check, waiting on a stimulus check, still got a little bit of that stimulus check left, and you talking about you want to work from home because you like the way it feels right now and you want to build your own business, you want to be an entrepreneur, but you are blowing that money on stuff that's not going to have a return, I'm telling you, now's the time to invest in you. So please, to go to shamiekadean.com and find out more. Again, to our wonderful Lucas Live audience on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and LinkedIn. Thank you so much to our LinkedIn family. We see you here. While you're not in our comments here on the screen live, I can see you here. I have you pulled up here on my phone. LinkedIn, we love you. To people who are watching this by replay, to the business community out there who may be watching this replay, somebody out there is going to reach out to Dr. Shamieka Dean. She's on LinkedIn as well. Please connect with her. Send her an invite. She will get back to you. She can help you out. Please, LinkedIn family, LinkedIn community, please check out Dr. Shamieka Dean there on LinkedIn as well. And to everybody here in the comments, your comments are flowing so much, Shamieka, I can't keep up. They're dropping bombs and fire and all this. I mean, I just can't keep up with all this stuff, but thank you guys so much for continuing with us. And we still have a large number of people in the broadcast. So let's continue on a little bit. I want to know a little bit more about instant and consistent income. This is something that you're going to be teaching. That's people like the idea of instant. Now, instant may not be, I don't know, today you going to send them a check, but instant, you want to teach people how to get instant and consistent income. Everybody lean in, pay attention, get your pens and paper out, listen to, what does that even mean? How can they get instant?
So basically, and I just had a client that I implement different strategies just depending. I have the DM driver strategy. I have the stories that sell strategy. I have the comment to currency strategy. I have the leveraging live video strategy. So there are different strategies because I'm a strategist. So my brand name is the #1 profit strategist because that's what I teach you, like strategies. Come on, let's do strategy. Because your stories tell, but strategies sell. So, so when it comes to instant income, there are really only certain things that you need to start producing income. And you need to know the pain of your people. You need to know the problem, that is keeping them.
Y'all type this in the comments. The pain of your people. Go ahead.
Yeah. So you need to know the pain of your people, and you need to know the problem that is preventing them from getting over the pain. Right. And then you need to have a process that you can take them to provide that solution.
Yes.
So when you know those things and you're able to clearly identify them, you can start producing profit. I have a cash before creation strategy. So with a cash before creation, my clients don't officially create their course until they have generated cash.
Woo. So wait, they have not created the prototype. They haven't created the thing yet. They haven't built the car yet. They haven't built the course yet, is what we're talking about in this case. And you're telling me that people are already paying them for something that's not created.
Yes, because you need to know if it's profitable before you produce it. So if it's not profitable, you're wasting your time producing. And so there's a way that you're able to identify that. I just had one client, she made, what's 1250 times 2?
1250 times 2
so
is 26.
26
times 2.
So $2,600, and she hasn't even created her program yet.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so this is just within a 2-week period.
Yep.
Of us going through the process to identify these things and how we're going to present this to the people.
Wow.
And she's already cashing in.
Ladies and gentlemen, you guys, you haven't heard that every day. Okay. You've heard people say, as Shamieka said earlier, if you're supposed to write a book or you want to write a book or believe you're supposed to write a book, get to writing, start writing something down. My wife started working on her first book in her cell phone. Outside the school, waiting to pick up our daughter, doing talk to text.
That's right.
And then the next scene was such and such, and they was walking down the street, and before she'd come home and fine tune that and turned it into an entire book. There's so many options and ways of doing it. You just got to get started.
You do.
And there's a way to generate income prior to completing something such as an online course.
Absolutely.
Before you even created the course.
Absolutely.
I have not, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about y'all, but Courtney just said cash before creation.
Yep, cash before creation.
Ooh.
That's I developed that strategy when I realized that I could do it when I sold a course and I paid $20,000 and I hadn't even created the course
Hold
yet.
on, whoa, hold on, ladies and gentlemen, y'all lean in again. Did y'all hear that? She didn't say $20. She didn't say $22. She said $20,000
before I created it.
Before you created it. How was that possible? At that point, you had a following. What did you done prior to that to make that possible? For those out there wondering, well, I don't think I can make 20,000. What's some of the other groundwork that you had done that positions you for that?
So first things first, if you don't think you can, you never will. So whether you believe you can or you can't, it's true, right?
Yep.
And so it's possible. Anything that has already happened that's the possibility that it can happen for you. Yes. Anything that's already happened, right? Yep. And so even impossible is impossible. So because I'm getting my marketing strategy from the great I am, it's possible for me, right?
Yes.
So you don't have to have a large following. You have to have a quality following. And that's the difference. A lot of people just want a lot of numbers so that they can look successful instead of being successful. I didn't care about having a lot of people. I needed to have the right people.
Yes.
Right. And so you need to first work on, that's why identifying the pain, the problem, and all of that is important, because you're going to attract the quality people with those particular processes.
Yes.
With that process. And so when you're doing that, you already know your language and what you're communicating, is going to either compel or repel. So it's going to compel the right people and repel the wrong people. And some people are so afraid of rejection that they're trying to be nice to everybody, and they're trying to talk to everybody, and they're trying to please everybody. And because of that, you're not connecting with your people.
Shamieka, you're cussing people out again on my show.
I'm
I thought
sorry.
we talked about this. I thought I said you had like one of those, and now you're doing it again. And you're cussing me out. I'm the host. Now listen, I've been telling our audience that I've had a problem with over compliance, okay, to a fault, to where things weren't even real rules, but I'm so compliant. I was just that kid. I'm just that adult, not perfect, but in a sense, I was always like, they said, stand right here. I remember I was at the airport at LAX. I was dropping off a rental car, and the rental car places are way down the street somewhere because LAX is so big. And I was standing in a spot waiting on the bus to pick us up and take us back to the airport. And they said, stand here and the bus will pick you up right here and take you back around to the airport. Well, while I'm standing where they told me to stand, there was people getting on at a spot up the road where they was dropping people off. And by the time they got to me, the bus was full each time. So I'm stuck because I'm trying to comply and do what I think is right in the moment. We got to be set free. We got to get going on some stuff. We got to stop fearing rejection or fearing that somebody's going to judge you because you said you're writing a book, and they're like, you barely graduated English. What you talking about writing a book? You barely can write now. Your text messages don't even make sense. Don't let anybody stop you, and talk to them about the fact that everybody is not their customer.
Oh my goodness. No.
That's hard. That's a hard reality when you're trying to get started, because everybody's not going to like Lucas Tyndale Live. They're not going to like Lucas Live. They're not going to be about it. And I'm not mad. I still love them. But tell us about, how do we know and how do we deal with the reality that everybody's not our customer?
Well, the reality is you got to deal with liking yourself, even if other people don't, because that's really where it starts. That's where it starts. And so if you are still struggling with self-rejection, because there's rejection and then there's self-rejection, right? Yes. And so when you begin to deny the parts of yourself that other people have had a problem with, when that's the reality of who you are, that's a problem. Yes. That's a problem. There are people that don't think. So I tell people, I said, for some people, I'm too holy for some, and I'm too hood for the holy. Okay. You get what I'm saying? So I'm too, I'm too holy for the hood. I'm too hood for the holy. Right. But the reality is, I love Shamieka. And so when I get up in the morning and when I go to bed at night, I have to be honest with myself and say, do you love every facet of who you are, flaws and all?
Yes.
And so it took that, because a lot of people don't understand that success is 80% personal development, 10% and 20% professional. But it's 80% personal, because if you struggle with rejection personally, you're going to struggle with it professionally. All of that shows up in your business as well. And so everybody is not for you. And you literally have to be okay with that. You have to say, you don't like me. I love me. Okay. So both of us, we're good.
Yes.
We're good. But when you start to alter your authenticity to be accepted, that's a problem.
Ooh,
That is a problem. So when I show up on,
guilty. Been there.
yeah, so when I
Done
show up
that.
on Facebook, as you can see, I didn't come on here as, I'm not on here stuffy like, yes,
The
Mr. Tippett.
doctor. Yes,
I'm
doctor.
doctor. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
No, at the end of the day, my mama name is Shamieka. You can call me Shamieka,
There you go. Right. Yep.
And I show up being who I am in my real, raw, and relatable way. And I learned how to just fall in love with myself because there were so many things about me that had been rejected so many times. I tried to alter them.
Yes.
But it wasn't until I aligned myself with my true authenticity that God began to accelerate me. So I tell people that all the time. Like, and some people simply are not going to like you. That's fine. You don't want everybody to like you, because if they do, that means you're not being true to yourself.
Absolutely.
And that also means that you're not being 100% obedient to God, because when he tells you to do a thing, it'll ruffle a few feathers. Okay.
Yes.
It will ruffle a few feathers. But you want to repel the wrong people. You want to. And the only way you're going to do that is by showing up as your authentic self. Because the worst thing that could happen is that you build a brand based on acceptance. And then when your authenticity shows up, everybody that has followed you for that point in time fall off.
Everybody okay with the pause? We got to pause for a second, ladies and gentlemen. We got to take a breathe break. Everybody take a deep breath with me here. If you show up, one thing many years ago, somebody said this and it just stuck with me. The fake will evaporate. Fake will if you're pretending. This is one thing I love about this show. For me, it's funny because there is some fear. There is some moments where I'm like, did I do that? Right? Steve, did I do that? Did I say that on camera? Did I go, whoo? I'll be sitting here going, whoo, when you talking, I'm seriously feeling it. Like, I'm supposed to be the host. I'm supposed to be composed. No, I'm supposed to be myself. And I hope everybody watching enjoys me being genuine and being myself. And to those that don't appreciate it, don't like it in some way, I still love you. I hope you come back. But if you choose to watch something else, or you got Netflix to watch, or some other live stream, or something else to do, I still love you. I wish you the best. To those who are becoming a part of the Lucas Live tribe, to those who are becoming a part of the Inner Circle, I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for you letting me be Joe and Vivian's baby boy. I'm so grateful that after losing my mother a month ago, I've just said, forget it. It doesn't matter. Life is short. We come and we go from this earth so fast. The last thing I'm going to do is go and regret not having lived. So I'm living live in front of everybody else.
Yes. And what I think that has set me apart as a leader, as a prophetess, as a minister, a business owner, all of that is my transparency. Because one thing I learned a long time ago, and I know this is going to help someone, is that when you're free, the enemy can't hold you hostage. He can't hold you hostage. So my past is dirty. I got enough dirt to build a desert, right? But I stood in my dirt. I've accepted it. So when, the enemy tries to remind me of my past, I just remind him of my future, or even my present. Because I'm like, look, that past didn't paralyze me, though. I'm still here.
Right.
I'm still here, know? And so you really, truly have to learn how to just say, man, I jacked up. But that's not who I am. It's just what I did based on where I was at that time in my life. I was broken at that time in my life. I was unwise at that time in my life. I was a kid at that time in my life, and that's what I did based on what I had. I couldn't give you any more than what I had.
What that's I did is not who I am.
Yeah, what I did is not who I am. It's just simply what I did.
Somebody's getting set free out here. Liberation. We're getting set free out here today. Yes, what you've done is not who you are. And I don't care if you did it 10 years ago or 10 minutes ago. Right? That's not who you are. It's time to change. As long as you're willing to, the Bible says we're supposed to repent, which means to turn away from what we were doing. If you're willing to turn and say, I'm not going down that road anymore. Now, there's an Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit.
Right.
We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. What that means is, now, if you repeatedly treat people terrible, then maybe that's part of who you are. If you repeatedly lie, maybe you're a liar. If you repeatedly steal, maybe you're a thief. Okay. That's who you, what you repeat. But what you've done is not who you are. If it's something that you've done that you're willing to put behind you rather than allowing it to become a part of who you actually are.
Exactly. And you know what, I had to tell someone, and this is probably about 2 weeks ago.
Mhm.
And I told them, I said, the reason they keep bringing up your past is because that's where you left them.
Mm.
They don't have any new information.
You left them in the past. You moved on, and that's all they know.
That's all they know. They're in the past. You've
Yep.
moved forward. That means that they're still stuck
Yes.
while you're soaring,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So do you want? And the only power that they have is if you go back and address the people
Yes.
or the thing in your past. I'm good.
Yes. Leave who I used to be. It's funny because in the Bible they tried to talk about Jesus, and they were always talking, those that didn't like him called him Mary's son. And that was a sign of disrespect because, one, they didn't respect women in that culture.
Right.
Two, she was this virgin. You think people around town was like, oh yeah, virgin birth. They was like, somebody get where Maury at?
Right.
Years late. We need to figure out who the baby's daddy is. There's no way this virgin is having a baby. So they would disrespect him and say, ain't that Mary's son? Somebody out there is still calling you who you ain't you so-and-so from the street? Ain't you so-and-so's people? Ain't you so-and-so crazy so-and-so? Ain't that your dad? Ain't that your mom? Ain't you the one that used to be out there in them streets? Ain't you got a kid by so-and-so, that crazy old such and such? If you was with him, then who does that make you? That makes me somebody who was who I was, and now I am who I am, and it's nice to meet me. I'm
Right.
somebody new.
Like, I'm good.
Yep.
I'm good, love, enjoy.
Yep.
Like,
I'm free. I'm set free.
Right.
I'm set free.
I'm so done.
Whew, people in the comments, ladies and gentlemen, Lucas Live Tribe, thank you guys so much for everything you're saying. People are saying, whoo, trying to catch their breath. I feel the same way. Whoo, she's breaking it down. We can't breathe out here. Saying yes, yes, yes. Danielle, my sister, this is one of my little sisters. I adopt young, talented people who want to do something. Me and my wife are always helping out somebody who has so much talent. This is somebody who my wife, Danielle and I worked together, and then my wife got with her and did some work with her. And we just see so much in her and her sister and her family, just people that God has a plan for. Danielle's one of those people that you can just see it in her. She said, those mistakes make the best success stories, and everything you go through is a lesson for others. Danielle, don't forget that, okay? Don't forget that. That's 100% true, and you have a purpose, and you have a calling, and today's the day to get started, Danielle. Today's the day to get started. Amber Richardson said, yes, when you're free, the enemy can't hold you hostage. Shamieka, you broke it down. The chains, we trying to break every chain, and we're the ones locking ourselves up.
Okay.
Right?
Right. Exactly.
We got to get free. We got to get free. So many comments. So many people are so grateful here. Angelina, thank you again for all the love. Tyler, thank you so much. We got to get out of that last season mindset. I love
That's
that,
good.
Tyler. That last season mindset. Tyler's going to join us on the show here one day soon. Got to get out of there. Lakeisha Cundiff, thank you so much. Lucas Live Tribe, shout out to Lakeisha Cundiff. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all your support. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to thank you guys. You guys show some love in the comments to our amazing guest, Dr. Shamieka Dean. And if you want me to have her back on the show, just let me know. Just let me know. You know, I'm willing.
I'll come back. I will be back.
This is a friend of mine. She'll come back. But before she's back here, you make sure you're following her. And if you ever miss one of my broadcasts and you pop in and you say, I'm sorry, Dr. Shamieka Dean was dropping some knowledge, you will get a hall pass. You will get a free pass. I will say, praise God. What did she say? Just bring back your notes so that I can get it too. That's all I'm asking. Okay. So thank you guys so much. There's a lot of love popping up. Thank you, Danielle, again, Tyler, again, Corinne, my beautiful wife. Thank you so much. Jackie, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. People are so happy for what you've shared. Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Periscope. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Shamieka, can you leave us with some last parting words of wisdom?
Absolutely. I just want to encourage, each and every one of you to be solid in your faith, be solid in who you are, and be solid in what God has predestined you to do. I want you to know this, that God created you on purpose, for a purpose, and he predestined you to prosper in everything that you put your hands to. So don't allow the enemy, don't allow your past, don't allow the people that are sitting on the sidelines to stop you, because they're on the sidelines for a reason. They don't have what it takes to get on the field. So, just stay encouraged, keep moving forward, extinguish every excuse, and allow God to blow your mind. Just allow him to blow your mind, because I just believe that we've seen some things in 2020 that has caused many to question their faith, question where God is. But what I always know about God is that there's not a mess that he can't turn into a miracle. It's not a mess that he can't turn into a miracle.
Amen.
So be encouraged. And, I pray that I've said something that has inspired you, or even convicted you, because I believe that conviction compels us to change. Not a conviction in a bad way, but just that, you stepped on that pinky toe.
Got the pinky toe.
You stepped on the pinky toe. But, in all love and all humility, I have fun. I love what I do, but I truly pray that someone on this broadcast was blessed, and that their life will change from this point on, and literally change their legacy.
Amen. Education, motivation, liberation. You hit all three today, over and over and over and over and over again. And we are so blessed and so grateful for everything you shared today. Ladies and gentlemen, give a hand to Dr. Shamieka Dean. Please make sure you're following her. And we look forward to having you back here on Lucas Tyndale Live. We're looking at changing the name. My wife has said it. Others have said it. I was talking to Dr. Dean earlier, and she said, Lucas Live has a nice ring to it. They'll know your last name. They'll get it. They'll find you. Lucas Live sounds good. So we're looking at, we may be changing the name of the show to just Lucas Live, but whatever it is, please keep following. Please keep tuning in. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon. Hit all so you get all notifications. And remember, this Saturday, we're going live at 7 p.m. Eastern with Virtual Game Night, our third virtual game night. But this time, it's exclusively on YouTube, so you want to be there. We are going to be laughing and having a good time. All you got to do is type your answers in the comments. We argue a little bit. We get into it. We play different games. We play 5-second rule, general trivia, black card revoked. We play all kinds of fun games, and you can be a part of it just by joining us on YouTube this Saturday. And don't forget to join us tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern again. Miss Danica Stevenson is going to come with a live cooking demonstration. She's going to show us how to make some healthy ice cream, because we know some healthy ice cream. And for those that are lactose intolerant, she got something for you too, ladies and gentlemen, so you can enjoy yourself some ice cream again. Dr. Dean, thank you so much.
Thank you.
To our guests, thank you so much. Everybody,
thank you so much.
Have a wonderful night. Shamieka, I'll talk to you real soon. Thank you all. Have a great night.